Well, welcome to our second session of Gather, Learn, Heal, Become. Thank you for joining us. Okay, now folks are coming in. I guess that 5 minute mark was magical. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, welcome, Stugan and Vincent.
Yep,
You're so
Stu, how's it
welcome
going?
here. So this is our second session of Gather, Learn, Heal, and Become. And the purpose of it really is um, that I had a sense of what feels needed right now is for us. So this is a space for us to feel into how to be and become in this time of great change and evolution. It's a very turbulent time. And so the Sanctuary of Earth wanted to offer a space where we can lean into our learning, healing, and becoming together. So we're offering healing and shared practices so that we can learn together and grow together. And again, we are the second and fourth Sundays at 1:30 p.m. I'm going to start with a channeled message for the group. I am an intuitive and I teach intuition development with Sanctuary of Earth. And so I'll just feel in for a message for those that are here or who might be listening to the YouTube recording later. So what I'm getting is beautiful souls. You are here on this beautiful day to enlighten and edify and heal and learn and grow. Something brought you here. Something in your intention made you sense perhaps that this was a place to find something that you were looking for. And know that it is a difficult time for so many people. And for some, it's been a difficult time for many years, and some for a few months. But humanity is going through a great shift and evolution along with Earth. And so, of course, it is natural that we would want to look to come together and find ways to feel like we can rise above what feels so challenging. And if that's why you're here, you're in the right place. We hope that you will engage with the offering today and take something back with you that you can use going forward. It's tiny baby steps towards finding a place of greater stability when there is so much chaos and turmoil. But know that you're in the right place and you're doing the right thing for yourself, or at least we hope you will feel that way by the end, and that you can find something useful to bring forward into your life. So that was the message. And today's topic, we will just continue to build on that. Welcome, Leanne. Your timing is perfect. Thanks for joining us. The topic today is pathways through challenge. And I just feel like this is such an important topic right now. I mean, it's always an important topic, but especially of recent days, months, or years, whatever your perspective is, we've had so much challenge. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about this, and then we're going to go into an experiential exercise where I'm going to lead you through a couple of reflection questions and a meditation. And then at the end, I'll invite each of you to take turns sharing what came through for you in that exercise. But I wanted to talk about the nature of challenge and our relationship with challenge. And a friend of mine framed it this way recently, which I thought was really quite brilliant. He said that challenge and crisis can happen in your life. And some people will go, wow, that's horrible. This is the worst thing. I can't believe this. This is awful. And there might be another group that goes, wow, this is great. I'm so happy and excited. And you know what that tells us is that we decide. So everybody sees things differently. And if you were to take any particular comment or event and you asked 100 people what they saw or what they felt happened, you would get 100 different answers, because we all view things differently. We view things through the lens of our own perspective, whether that's our social identity, like I'm a middle-aged, well, I'm getting up in years, Asian female who lives in Virginia, who's got this, that, and the other, and doesn't have those other things. So I have a very unique perspective, and what I pay attention to and how I interpret it is completely different from everybody else. I liken it to a disco ball, those balls that have all those little tiny mirror tiles on it. And that any one event will be interpreted differently, just like those little mirror tiles. And our mirror tile will more reflect more about us in terms of how we interpret it than anything else. And I'm going to just give you an example that's a little more concrete. So there's a great deal of research around how we make decisions in the world. And turns out we take many, many shortcuts in order to just get through our day. Like if I had to sit down and analyze what I was going to have for breakfast every day and how to make it, I could take all day just simply making breakfast. So what we each have to do is that we take a lot of shortcuts. And while that may not matter that much in terms of what I make for breakfast, that if I eat something healthy or unhealthy, it mainly affects me. But to the degree that I have to make an important decision, like maybe do I quit my job? Do I get a divorce? Do I marry this person? Whatever, those are big decisions. And if we're using a lot of mental shortcuts to make important decisions, then we can get ourselves hung up. So the problem is that we can then use a lot of mental shortcuts to make important decisions. And we can also use mental shortcuts when we are getting stuck in challenge. So if challenge feels overwhelming and making us feel stuck, and we're using mental shortcuts, we are unlikely to be able to get through it very easily. So I'm going to give you just another bit of information that that there are over 200 of these mental shortcuts that we use all the time. So we're creating a lot of shortcuts and errors in our way of thinking and perceiving. So just think about that for a minute. If there are 200 types of mental shortcuts we are taking, then how accurately are we really perceiving reality? How well are we actually able to make decisions based on what's really happening in our world? So my conclusion is that we have a very poor grasp of what is really happening. It's very subjective and prone to error, and we can tend to get stuck if we don't recognize that our thinking may be very flawed. So one cognitive bias that you may have heard of is called confirmation bias. So it's the tendency to only notice facts and opinions that affirm your own belief, and to ignore facts and data or opinions that contradict it. So imagine that we have 200 others like that have us stuck in a certain way of thinking. Another thing that I would like to just share is that I like to talk about the hero's journey. So this is a framework by Joseph Campbell, who was a comparative mythologist who studied the tales and legends and stories across time and culture. And he asked, what do these stories all have in common? What are the stories of humanity trying to teach us or tell us? And he came up with a theme that was pervasive in so many of the stories. And he called it the hero's journey. And if you think about the beloved tales and legends of our time, like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars or The Wizard of Oz. Okay, so I'm going to share this diagram of the hero's journey. And so these stories and these beloved tales okay, I guess that was
I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, Susanna.
Yeah, well, I guess that happens. All right, so we're just going to take a deep breath here. These stories have a familiar storyline. So in it, the hero or the shiro, as I like to call them, is what they call at home and in their comfort zone. And then they are called to embark on an adventure greater than themselves. And when they do so, they leave the comfort of their home and ostensibly to defeat some bad guy or bad gal, only to find that everything that they know and everything they've ever done before is just keeping them stuck in the same place, that they cannot rise to the challenge. And eventually they hit a rock bottom place. And so let's see. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen again. So they'll leave home and then they will hit a rock bottom, which Campbell calls the innermost cave. This is pretty much what we would call a dark night of the soul. It is a place where the shiro has to confront all the beliefs that got them there. And it's when they start to rethink everything they've ever known. And that's when they can break open. Okay, I know Catherine, so it's all good. I think she was here for a later meeting. So this is a really important place. It's devastating and hard, but when people get here, it's a transformational moment that is available to them when they confront their beliefs or their mental shortcuts and their habits that has them only seeing one side of the disco ball and not being open to the other possibilities. So the shiro then realizes that the journey is really internal, that they might be thinking that the problem is outside of them, but the solution is within them. And it's when they make this realization and grow to become bigger than the challenge itself is when they can prevail upon the challenge and rise up and return victorious. So that happens in the return phase. And it's really a self-transcendent process where the shiro keeps encountering the places where they believe themselves to be small and powerless and rise up within themselves to become bigger from the inside out. So in both cases, in terms of the cognitive bias and errors and the hero's journey or the shiro's journey, it's asking us to get out of our brain, our thinking, our need to know and to be right, and to plan and control everything, and move into this deeper place of our healing and expansion. And the Shiro's journey is so important. Sanctuary of Earth is going to offer a class starting in March just on this, because I really do feel like it's the framework that so many of us could benefit from at this point in time. And I know that it has helped me through some very dire and prolonged crises in my life. So I'm going to just pause here and see if Alice or Christina either of you have any thoughts or comments or questions before we move on to the exercise.
No additional builds, comments. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So we're going to spend the next 20 or so minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, going into an experiential exercise. Again, something that I hope that you could take with you. So first think about who would you consider to be a hero or a shiro exemplar, a person living, dead, or possibly even fictional that you resonate with, and why? Okay, so just think about that for a minute. And if you want to jot it down, go ahead. I'll give you a couple minutes to do so. And we can just discuss at the end. Okay, now spend a couple minutes writing about what challenge feels most present. And then we're going to explore the two together. But for right now, what challenge feels most present to you? Or what might feel most challenging right now? Just a minute or so to set an intention for your focus. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do a guided meditation. We're going to get underneath all the thoughts and cognitive biases and errors and overthinking about our challenge. And we're going to go to a deeper place. The journey of the Shiro or the hero, going deeper to find our deeper place of knowing and wisdom, especially as it pertains to this challenge, and using the inspiration of the one who is most inspiring to you. So let's, if you wish, you can close your eyes, put your feet flat on the floor, feel your sit bones sink into your chair, and adjust your torso so that your spine is directly over your hips, your neck directly on top of your shoulders, your head right on top of your neck, and just adjust a little until you feel your spine straighten out as much as you can. And just for a little extra help, imagine a little cord from the top of your head going up into the heavens. And it's just holding your weight. And again, adjust your string so that your spine is in alignment and that everything can just be heavy, held by the weight of the string. Going to imagine your front and back and sides of your head, face, back of your neck, soft and heavy. Your jaw, your throat, back of your neck, relaxed. Your shoulders, your upper chest, your upper back, upper arms, soft and relaxed. Your chest, belly, upper back, lower back, upper arms, forearms and hands, soft, sinking in deep. Your hips and your glutes, soft, relaxed, supported by the weight of the chair. Quads, glutes, knees, sinking softer. Shins and calves, ankles and feet, heavy and supported by earth. And from this place, we're going to just notice our body. And if there's any other tight places, we're going to just let them relax. And if there's any frizzy energy, fear or worry, stress, anxiety, we just release that out into the universe. We're going to thank it for keeping us safe and release it because it no longer serves us. And with a more clear energy, we're going to just feel into the environment around us, starting first with noticing the energy of earth and her flora and fauna, sky and the air, water and land. And we're going to just feel a sense of reunion as us being part of the ecosystem of Earth. And we'll just feel the oneness of our inseparability. And with the deep part of us, maybe it's your heart or your belly, you're going to notice the challenge out there from this perspective of oneness with Earth. It's far away, but you can see it, you notice it, and maybe it feels a little different now, and allow that to be. Allow yourself to perceive this from this place of connection with Earth and calm, peace. Now imagine or feel your hero exemplar. Allow that energy to enter your body, their bravery, their wisdom, their courage, their strength, their kindness. And just know that their support is there for you. And from this place with your Shiro exemplar, regard that thing that felt challenging to you. And perhaps notice a different perspective or viewpoint from here. And while you spend a couple minutes regarding this new frame, going to offer you some energy medicine called yin. If you wish to receive it, set the intention to receive, as it will help you find a more grounded perspective. Okay, so when you're ready to come back to the Zoom room, you can open your eyes if they're closed. And if you wish to share, would love to hear from you. I will pause the recording here. So thank you, Alice and Christina, for your shares and insights about your Shiro exemplar and how you can move into rising above challenge, what you feel to be challenging now. So I mentioned before that we are going to be having some classes in March, including Claire Empathy and the Times of Turmoil, focusing on the Shiro's journey. Those announcements will be sent out in our monthly newsletter or mailer. Also, we do rely on donations for this program. So if you're feeling so moved, whether you're watching on YouTube afterwards or right now, we'd very much appreciate a donation of any amount to support this program at sanctuaryoferarth.org. And so before we wrap up, I'm going to do a final message, and I'm going to draw a card from the Tarot. I will be scheduling Tarot and Reiki sometime next month or April as well. The calendar will be coming out for that soon. So, so beautiful souls, you've begun or continued on this wonderful journey of inward exploration where you can find a much bigger and more beautiful version of yourself, because that's what the world needs. The world doesn't need another person who is subscribing to the beliefs and thoughts of the collective, because if everybody believed the same thing, then we would all be the same thing. And the world does not need millions of copies of the same person. What the world needs is for you to be you at the most authentic and unapologetic way, because your perspective and your gifts are here for this point in time of great evolution and transition. And that is what is needed for us to move into the next phase. When you do that for yourself and you make that your priority and your commitment, then you are bringing healing to yourself to become the one you are meant to be. And also you can bring your unique brand of service to everybody and everything. So thank you for your courage and your commitment to your inner work. And just know that the you that is waiting to come forth is more brilliant and beautiful than any body that you've ever imagined. And I know that to be true. So I'm going to draw a card for us. Okay, this one came right out. This is from my dragon deck. It was created for the year of the dragon, which we just ended. We got the Knight of Wands. So the Knight is a relatively younger royal in the page, knight, queen, and king order of things. And the wands is about fire, energy, action, and movement and passion. And so what I feel this card is inviting you to do is to move from the contemplation stage of the page, who is just getting an inkling of what they're here to do and why, and to step forth with the page in a heroic sort of energy. To let your heart and your passion show you the way. This is what Joseph Campbell calls follow your bliss. And to know that where you're going with it is divine and beautiful and much needed in the world. Yep. So that's it. The final thing to do is to give away a free 30-minute session with me. And so your odds are quite good, ladies, and especially since you stuck it out to the end. So thank you for sticking through what do you call it? The whatever.
Your spiel.
Yeah, the spiel and then the scammer people, whatever. All right, so Alice, could you pick a number 1 or 2? And I have each of you assigned a number.
Pick 2.
2? Okay, Alice, so you're the winner. But Christina, I would love to do a little mini session with you. So I'll just offer you a 15-minute freebie. If you like, I'm going to
But can I say, because Susanna, I meet with you regularly and I take your classes and everything. Can I transfer that win over to Christina?
Oh, absolutely.
Christina,
That is so kind.
thanks, you of Earth, Susanna. I mean, if we are similar in the paths that we're on right now, it's so helpful.
This was very helpful. Yes, I feel I've benefited. I have some more peace, for, right now.
Yeah.
So I appreciate again the time, and thank you, Alice, for sharing your win.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you, Alice. That's so generous of you. So Christina, I put my email in the chat. And so why don't you reach out to me and we'll plan on 30, 45 minutes. Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, dears. Well, thank you for joining us today. Appreciate you showing up. So I'm not the only one in the Zoom room today, besides the scammers. That would have been
Move
fun.
forward.
Yeah.
All righty.
All right. Have
Enjoy
a good
the rest
day.
of your day.
Bye.
Bye, guys.